What's up? What's up, man? Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment. Subscribe to the channel, and be sure to hit them notifications too, so that you're able to get each and every one of my videos. Okay. Want to give a shout out to Big Who and Memphis. They in the building first. I see y'all in here. TJ Boxing. Definitely go sub to TJ Boxing and Sport. Uh, he's always bringing content. I'm gonna stay on his helmet about doing more and longer videos until he get tired of me and just say, you know what, I'm gonna break. I'm gonna finally do it. But nah, definitely go subscribe to that boy TJ Boxing and Sports. But listen, Paul George, man, he played a phenomenal game yesterday, and I was surprised that they came back. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I did not expect them to come back. Uh, and people are asking me if Paul George should be in the MVP conversation. Playing like that, absolutely, yeah. You know, and listen, I never denied Paul George's talent in terms of what he does on the floor. The guy at one point in time was the premier two-way player in the league, especially when he played in Indianapolis. When he was with the Pacers. Uh, he would capitalize at the end of games. I don't think people really understood that. He would capitalize at the end of games, and after that injury, Paul George where he was. Okay, see, finalize, trying to realize himself to get back to play. Took him to get up to speed and everything, and then he ultimately was in the MVP conversation or whatnot. And he had shortcomings there while he was playing with Russ, but was able to come to the Clippers. Short, a few more times, being with the Clippers and everything, and people started to question him and come with the name of, way off P or playoff P, whatever you want to call it. You know, but last year he showed me a lot. He showed me a lot last year because he got off to a sluggish start, but now I think he knows. Okay, look, Kawhi's not coming back, and if he does come back, which would be very stupid, it'll be back. He'll be back later on in the season. And I don't think Paul George. I mean, I'm talking about that. Kawhi Leonard should come back. That would be very dumb for him to come back and try to come back and get back to full season form off of an ACL. It's just and plus you got the knee condition anyways, which is not going to get any better. It would be very dumb for you to do something like that. It wouldn't pan out for him well. But I've never denied Paul George's talent because Paul George always reminded me of T Mac. He reminded me of T Mac when he first came in. If you go and go look how Paul George was when he first came into the league, I'm not talking about no Paul George now. I'm talking about Paul George that used to get up and posterize motherfuckers. I'm talking about that Paul George. The injury. He's gotten back. Let's get back to what we're talking about right now. Yesterday, they started off the game really, really slow, and I was saying to myself, I said, man, I don't know about this. They at one point they were up, I think 20. It was like 15, 17, like 20 points somewhere around there. But they ultimately came back. He came back. Paul George was leading the charge along with the supporting cast, and completely came in and took Miami out of the game and beat them 112 to 109. Okay, now I know other people were involved. I know other people were involved. You know, you got. I think that Zubac doesn't get the credit that he deserved for him just keeping the game within reach. You know, Zubac was a monster last night, man. He had 18 points and 11 rebounds. Bledsoe did his thing, and so did Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson got off to a rather slow start. Another person that started to get on fire, and he started off kind of slow, was Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard came in. I think at one point he was 1 of 5 from the 3-point line, and then ultimately he came out and just started hitting threes back to back to back. And I think the Clippers know now that, okay, hey, look, we have to play within ourselves. I don't want them to be a shell of themselves like they was last season. But hey, the Clippers right now, man, listen, they're listen, these guys are above 500. These guys are above 500, and people expected them to then break a fold. They're 7-4, so they're competitive. And what Paul George is doing, he's like, okay, hey, look, man, no Kawhi, no problem. That's all he needs to do. But see, there's one thing that is going to haunt Paul George. There's one thing that's going to haunt him. And pretty much that is him getting this done at the highest level in the playoffs when it mattered the most. Now, last season, man, he was gassed. I mean, let's just be honest. You know, he was gassed with carrying the load and everything. Uh, Kawhi Leonard, coming out, but you don't have no excuses this year. You got to get it done. What's up with it, 3000? I see you in the building, man. You have to get it done this year. It's absolutely no excuses. And see, I believe that he can. You have weapons on your team to get it done. You beat a Miami squad. Now look, they didn't have Jimmy Butler. Okay, I understand that, but you still have Bam to go up against. You still had Tyler Hero that was playing pretty good, that was shooting lights out. You still got Kyle Lowry. You still got an opposing defender in PJ Tucker that you had to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Still got Duncan Robinson, who could be a handful. You got other guys on there, man, that could really absolutely light it up. And I still can't continue to say enough about Bam. Bam is having a hell of a season. Batum have brought his career back. He never was gone. I don't understand why y'all act like Nicholas Batum went somewhere. He was never gone. Nicholas Batum, okay, is he the old Nicholas Batum that was in Portland or Carolina or anything like that? Nah. Or I should say Charlotte, my bad. He's not, but he's still valuable to every team. I've always liked Batum because he's all over the place. But that guy is definitely needed. You need his veteranship. You need his defense. You need his Swiss Army knife type game for the Clippers. And Ty Lue, man, man, you love to have a player like Nicholas Batum. Okay, is he gonna get you 20? No. And see, that's what y'all look for. Oh man, is he scoring 20? Is he scoring 30 and all this other stuff? No, that's not what he's there for. And people have to realize that at one point, I think it was last year, if I'm not mistaken, it was either last year or the year before last, Nicholas Batum led the league in plus minus. So there's nothing wrong with Nicholas Batum. You know, see, some of y'all expect me to sit up here and be like, oh yeah, Nicholas Batum, he garbage just because he scored 6 points. No, absolutely not. Oh yeah, you know, PJ Tucker, man, he trash, man. You know what I'm saying? He don't really score that much. No, I'm not gonna say that because every team needs a PJ. Look at what Miami's doing. Okay, yeah, they lost last night, and of course they lost two in a row and everything. They don't have Jimmy Butler and everything, but before that, hey, people were talking about Miami because of the additions that they made, and one of those being PJ Tucker. What's up with it, Matt Moses? I see you in the building. Cleveland in the house, man. I know that that's where you reside right now and everything. You know what I'm saying? Sounds good. But you know, I can't say enough about Paul George. I think that he's playing phenomenal, but he's got to get it done in doing with Indiana. Back in those days, you couldn't have said that about Paul George when he was first starting to emerge. But see, that's the thing. I don't think a lot of people understood the magnitude of that injury that really took place. Some people, man, look, I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't think Paul George was ever gonna walk again, much less play again after that injury had taken place. But he has came back and he was still playing. It took him a while. Of course, it was going to take him a while. It took Gordon Hayward, a while to get going. You understand what I'm saying? But Paul George, man, he's playing. He's playing like he's hungry. Now, I didn't like the fact that Paul George, some of his decision making, like in late game situations, especially early this year, I was like, that was questionable. But see, he's playing a whole hell of a lot better than Luka Doncic is in the fourth quarter. Luka Doncic right now, he's a negative 96, which means that he adds no value to a squad. Y'all might think he might add some value if you got a negative 96. Paul George is actually doing a lot better than that, and he's doing a lot better in the fourth quarter than Luka Doncic is right now. So I get up in there, man. If y'all want to, come in and chop it up. If not, I'm not going to harp on this too long. But I just wanted to give Paul George his just due, because I know me and Big Who were talking yesterday, and Big Who, he assured me. He said, "Hey, look, Paul George is the Clippers. They need to look out for him." And I said, "Well, I don't trust them in late game situations. But them beating a team like this, it really says something. They just gonna have to get it done when it all matters. They have the potential to do it." And I know everybody's like, "Oh, they need Kawhi. They need Kawhi. They need Kawhi." Look, that might be true. Yes, having Kawhi is very valuable. But if you always saying that, "Oh yeah, I need this person, I need that person," or something like that, your mind is pretty much going to be already defeated. Your mind is already defeated going into the game because you sitting there, you got to rely on the superstardom of a Kawhi Leonard, knowing damn well that if he does come back, like he gonna come back 100% to full form like that, and that's just not the case. You shouldn't bank on that. I'm just keeping it above. You know, Paul George, if he keeps at it, he could possibly fuck around and win the MVP. I'm not gonna lie to you, he because he's been in the. A lot of people don't understand. Paul George has been in the MVP conversation. I would say like from the last two out of the 4 years. That's just my opinion. Because he was in there when he was with OKC. He was he was the MVP candidate. I disagreed with a lot of people, but hey, now that I look back at it, yeah, he was playing his ass off. You know, but do I believe that the Clippers can actually do some damage in the playoffs? Yeah, they can. They really can. Now their big test is going to be against like the Golden State Warriors and you shoot even look even the Lakers. You know they're going to really have to pull more out of their bag and see what they have in terms of what they can do in late game situations and stuff because it can't just fall just on Paul George. It's a team effort too. Let's not get that misconstrued. You know, I don't think that the Clippers can just rely on just Paul George alone. He's gonna have to have some help. Uh, they got a very well rounded team. Um, let me see. You know, like I said, I mentioned Zubac. You know, like I said, he had 18 and 11. You know, Paul George, he had 22. My bad, y'all. I fell out for a minute. I'm having some little bit of technical difficulties, but they can't do it all. I mean, Paul George can't do it all by himself. He's gonna really have to have this supporting cast, and they're gonna have to help him. Uh, I'm knocking on wood that nothing happens in terms of health wise. Do I believe that if they're healthy, they can actually do some things? Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna come down to the consistency of those players doing what they do in late game situations. Paul George has proven that he can do that. You know, and I've been critical of Paul George. You know, I can't sit here and lie to you, but that's because you get so angry, not personal angry, but I'm just saying you get a little frustrated with him because it's like, okay, well, man, let's do this when it really matters and everything. You know, like I don't see. at one point I didn't see Paul George as no Robin. People call Paul George a Robin. They call him second fiddle and everything. But his talent is not second fiddle. Like skill wise, Paul George is on another level than a lot of guys. But it's just always has haunted him the last couple of years and last couple of seasons in terms of, okay, well, can you get it done when it really matters the most? You know what I'm saying? And regular season, people become a prisoner of the moment and everything. And at the same token, there's guys that don't really do that good in the regular season, but then when they show up in the playoffs, they show out. And I think that Paul George has to have that type of mentality. You know, so I'm not gonna harp on this too much longer. If if y'all don't want, if nobody wants to talk about this, uh, I'm just gonna leave it at that. But be sure to like this video, share it, subscribe. Also hit them notifications too, man. And until then, man, it's Polo Sports Talking Entertainment, man. I'll get at y'all later.